Welcome to Chasing News. Tonight we are talking about marijuana. That's right, not just legal marijuana for medical use, but pot on the streets, bongs, joints, you heard it. And let me tell you something, Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey wants to legalize it across the board in every state, make the federal government not only decriminalize it, but in my opinion, this is a gateway to encouraging marijuana use across the streets of this great country. And you know what? It started today. Cory Booker had a press conference today, and there was a little bit of a ruckus. Some folks, pro-pot advocates got there. One person, at least, taken away in handcuffs.
Hey, what the hell's wrong with you? Don't you know the law? Do you not know the law? Are you ignorant? How ignorant are you?
This debate is just getting started, but Booker has taken it beyond the state lines in New Jersey, beyond a place that we already have legal medical marijuana. And you know what? He wouldn't answer a simple question. Is this law going to lead to people token up on the street corners in Main Street America? Couldn't answer it. Instead, he wants to make it about law enforcement. He wants to make it about revenue. It's ridiculous. We all know the hidden agenda behind this. I want to bring in Ashley Johnson. She was there with Senator Booker today.
Senator Cory Booker was in town to push marijuana legalization. However, before he got there, the police had to step in.
What's wrong with you? Oh my God, I'm in class. I'm wearing Ow!
Linden police arrested a man after he dropped medical marijuana. He was taken away in an ambulance shortly after Booker arrived and turned the attention to recreational marijuana. The Senator's Marijuana Justice Act would make ganja, pot, Mary Jane, lighting up a joint legal on a federal level. Our viewers aren't concerned about the ins and outs of the bill. They want to know if this means that they can do doobie on the streets without getting arrested. What does it mean for the everyday person?
The reality is simply this. In the same way with alcohol, marijuana, we need to be acting responsible as adults. In any way, the irresponsible use of marijuana, that's outrageous. But I do believe that we have come to a point in our society where we need to end prohibition.
Standing by Booker's side and also taking the stage was State Senator Nicholas Scutari. He proposed a bill making pot legal in the Garden State.
Since its criminalization, we have done nothing but stuff our jails with nonviolent offenders, destroyed the futures of people that unfortunately happen to be caught, and wrecked their opportunity for colleges and for a job.
Thank you, Ashley. Joining us now is our panel to weigh in on this. I want to bring in Sadaf Jaffer. Sadaf, thank you for joining us again. Welcome back. I know you're a professional researcher, and I'm looking forward to your take on all the issues we have before us tonight. Jim McQueenie, host of New Jersey Now. Always good to see you, Jim. Thanks for coming back. And the publisher of the Save Jersey blog, Matt Rooney. Matt, what's your take?
Oh, God, what can I say about this? If you think that Cory Booker is interested in anything right now other than running for president, you're high, okay? I want to know what you're on. This is a bill that aims to legalize marijuana at a time when roughly a third of U.S. states have already moved to legalize it recreationally or medically. He's getting involved in something that is already underway at the state level. So why is he tinkering? It's because, once again, Senator Twitter wants to get our attention.
Jim, is that fair? Is that fair? I mean, one, the hit on Twitter, I may agree with you on that, but is this all about Cory Booker running for president?
Cory Booker is on the ganji himself if he thinks that this bill is going to get past the Republican Senate and House at any time soon. This is a dead letter. Nothing's going to happen out here.
Why is it dead? I mean, you've got, as Matt even said, you've got state after state legalizing this. Colorado legalizes it, California, and it's beyond medical marijuana. This is about recreational use.
Well, it's not the bigness of the crimes here. What it is the frequency of it. Every 13 minutes, somebody gets busted in New Jersey. But 3 times as many minorities get arrested for it than whites. Whites aren't smoking pot? So there's really, to the core of what Cory's talking about, there's a justice issue.
Is it a racial issue?
It's a justice issue.
So what do you say to that, Matt? Is that accurate?
Cory Booker has no idea what he's talking about, which is one of the other problems with this bill. In New Jersey, if you have a clean record and you have under 50 grams, first of all, you're not going to federal court anyway. And we already have conditional discharge, a program which allows you to have a clean slate if you comply with certain conditions. If Cory Booker was sincerely interested in affecting these underprivileged populations, maybe he would have done something about it when he was mayor of Newark.
Sadaf, is that fair to hit Cory Booker on that?
60% of Americans support legalization. So perhaps he's really just in line with the American population.
So is it about polling or is it about good policy?
I think it's both. I mean, If we replaced our conversation that we're having right now about marijuana, about alcohol at a certain point in American history, people would be saying the same thing. If we legalize alcohol, everything's going to go to hell.
Is it prohibition? Is that what this is?
Here's the problem. It's policy, but it's the wrong kind of policy. It's people-pleasing policy. Just because 60% of the people think they should have this, it doesn't mean we should have it. We have no idea what the Pandora's box of law enforcement is. The problem with giving police to enforce this so that somebody can toke on the street. Medical marijuana aside, get that, get the related things like this. But when it comes to the issue of smoking out in the street on this stuff, cops in Colorado are telling the cops in New Jersey right now in forums that the enforcement for this thing, there's no standard for enforcement. The cops are put in the spot.
Is this just about pandering for votes? I mean, millennials certainly have no issue with this. My guess is those polling, if you break that down to young people overwhelmingly want to see this legal. Matt?
If Cory Booker was really interested in helping law enforcement and helping these communities, he'd also let the states decide, to Jim's point, okay? The challenges that Newark faces are different than the challenges New Jersey as a whole faces, which are different than the challenges Colorado faces. But Cory Booker's bill would penalize states for not agreeing with him.
Well, the states will still decide, right? It's just taking it off of the national list and then incentivizing states to decriminalize.
Respectfully, that's a fallacy, though, because Senator Booker's bill, as presented, would punish states by taking away funding if they don't comply with his vision of how America should enforce criminal law.
You talk about the policy on this thing. Look, let's go to the bottom line. Let's say it happens on here. If someone comes, Matt, to your job and goes for a job interview and they smell of the ganji on this thing, are they going to get hired? So let Cory Booker tell a person like that, this is the consequence of liberalizing all of this marijuana stuff.
Well, you know what? Either way, medical marijuana seems to be here to stay, and I think that's a good thing. I think we're down a slippery slope on this, to borrow a cliche. But let me tell you, in New Jersey, regardless of Cory Booker, if Phil Murphy becomes governor, you're going to see it here. But tweet me, let me know, at Bill Spadia, tweet the show, at Chasey News. What do you think? Legalize it across the board? Would you smoke it on the streets? Let me know.